So we're going to go into the presentation right now, and tonight the presentation is about Google ads versus Facebook ads and the truth revealed. I am going to give you my sense. So for me, I'm originally from Paris, France. If my name Antoine Dupont wasn't a clue, I was born and raised in Paris. This is why I put once in a while the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. And this is a picture of my family, and this is Charlie here in the middle, and Elizabeth and Christopher. So I have a lot of content to go over tonight. We're going to talk about the key differences between Google and Facebook, so you really have like a great sense of the difference between what is one for and what the other one is for. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of both of them. I'm going to show you some good examples of Facebook ads and good example of Google ads, and at the end I will give you my humble verdict. It was just my opinion, obviously then we'll open it up for debate and we could have conversations about that, but I'll tell you what I think about all this. So this is Google. I had to put that picture up. Do you see what's going on here? They reversed the fonts, the Google. So Google versus Facebook. So the first thing that I was going to put this slide as the last one, because in my opinion this is everything you need to know. I mean, this is it. If there is an answer about Google versus Facebook, this is it. Facebook help businesses find their prospective customers. Google help prospective buyers find your business. That is the key difference. We could actually conclude the meeting right there. You take a picture of it, boom, you got it. This is it. Now I'm going to give you a little bit more detail, but this is really the key difference between one and the other. In other words, how we could say it is, in essence, in Facebook, you're kind of like looking for your customer. We could say you're hunting for them. You're looking for target audience that is out there. You are putting your stuff in front of them. You're looking for them. On Google, it's the opposite. You're setting up a trap, as in a keyword, and when they need that, they come and they get it. That is really the key difference between Google and Facebook. And a lot of time what happens, why people are getting frustrated, is because they're treating Facebook like Google. And it never works. It never works. So in other words, Facebook is like a bullhorn. Is you saying, announcing and allowing everybody to know what you do. So it's more like marketing. And Google is sales. And that's a key difference that I want everybody to understand that. And sometimes people are confused between the difference, so they don't have that as a distinction. Sales is, I have an offer, I have a 2-for-1 special, and you want it or you don't want it, and we're going to have a transaction right here. That is sales. When customers come to me and I says, are you looking for sales or are you looking for marketing? And then they're like, what's the difference? Well, I says, well, sales is you need the cash register to ring now. Marketing is you have time. Does that make sense? You get the difference? So the difference between Facebook and Google is really clearly, when you're looking at Facebook, it's its ability to target people. Now, we've been talking a lot about Facebook in the news. A lot about that data and people and the data being stolen and people using it for bad things. But there's nothing that Facebook did that was really well. That's not true. I shouldn't say that they haven't done anything wrong. They have, but they were not as transparent as they should have been. But that is the nature of their business. They're in the business of collecting data. And in exchange, we get to use their service. So what the treasure trove is with Facebook is the data, is the ability to target people like nobody's business. By the way, they used to do that with credit cards. 20 years ago, that's how they got that data. Credit cards used to sell that data. This was the golden thing. You would buy data from the credit cards, and they will know all kinds of stuff about you. They will know the types of stuff you bought, where you bought it, how much money you spent, and based on that, they market it to you or not. But now with Facebook, is that like, you know, to the nth degree. They know so much about us. They have 1,400 points of data on us. 1,400. So the ability for us as marketers to be granular with Facebook is unbelievable. We can say, I want women in their 30s that like yoga, that like to be healthy, that live in Wellington, and that also like the Miami Dolphins. Because my product is going to be specifically targeted to them. Right? Now, with Google, well, it's all about, it's all about the keywords. You target your audience with the proper types of keywords, you're going to have the right kind of people coming to you. Right? It's really all around the keyword or the key phrases. That is completely different. So in essence, the intent to buy is huge on Google. That is really the distinction. Sometimes say, well, where should I advertise? And I says, well, people go to Google, they search for something on Google because they want to buy something. They're looking for something. I don't know, does anyone in the room here has gone to Facebook looking for a product or a service? Okay, I just have one. Maybe, and I have two. Who has looked for a product and service on Google? Everybody. Right? So we don't look for product and services on Facebook. That's not where we are looking for. We're there chilling, we're looking at pictures, we're looking at stupid stuff, but that's not, we're looking at our friends' pictures, but we're not going to Google with the intent to buy. That doesn't mean that transactions doesn't happen, but that's not the intent. The opposite is true on Google. Our intent is very clear. I need a plumber. I'm looking for a dog trainer. I have a need. Now, if you're on Facebook, because I know, I have some dog training, I'm using that as an example. Obviously, people that own a dog is a perfect audience for you. But how do you figure this out on Facebook? That's a different story, but like that. All right, so when you're looking at Facebook, the way you actually are targeting people is with location and behaviors. That is really the cornerstone of Facebook. Location and behavior. Behaviors is a huge component of Facebook. As in, what is your behavior? What are the stuff you like? Based on that, I'm going to put stuff in front of you, as opposed to Google, where it's strictly a keyword or a key phrase and a location. As in plumbers and Lake Worth. That's it. I'm looking for plumbing, plumber, fix a leaky faucet and whatnot. Now, Facebook, to give you the lay of the land so you have a sense of the scope of both of them. And everybody knows that Facebook is huge. But they have 2 billion active users. That is absolutely massive. And Google has 2.3 million searches every minute. Now, on the other side, Facebook is 91.4% of all the social network traffic. I mean, it's not even like Instagram and the others. No, not even a close second. It's like Facebook and Google, and then there is the rest, right? And then Google has 81% of the global market share. 81%. After that, you have the second in line is Bing, with 7%. And I'm utterly convinced that the people that are actually on Bing are people that bought a computer, probably a Microsoft, and it was already pre-installed, and they didn't know better, and they were using that, but they didn't actually choose that, right? So in essence, Facebook and Google are the 800-pound gorilla. Like if there is two platforms that every single one of us should consider advertising, is those two. Now, if people are saying, well, what do you think on Instagram? What do you think of where people are asking of Pinterest and whatnot? I'm like, yes, I mean, you could advertise everywhere if you wanted to. But I don't know a lot of people that have unlimited budget. So if you have a limited budget, in my opinion, those are the two that in 2018, and going in 2019, these are the two 800-pound gorilla that you and I, as business owners, can actually get all our business from. Now, one thing that's actually interesting with pay-per-click is that the average cost per click with Facebook is under $1. That is the average, under $1. And the average retail industry cost per click right now is 45 cents on Facebook. So one of the things that is true with Facebook is it's really, really still cheap compared to Google. If you look at Google, the average cost per click varies between 35 cents to $5. And the most expensive cost per click actually is the keyword insurance, which is $54.17. Can you imagine? A person sees your ad, they're clicking on it, and it just costs you 54 bucks. You haven't converted that person, they just clicked on the ad. That's a pretty expensive proposition there, right? So overall, what I will say about the cost per click is I think in 2018, that's my opinion based on what I'm seeing, is that Google is disproportionately expensive compared to Facebook, which is disproportionately inexpensive right now. Right? That doesn't change that the intent to buy things or is done on Google, not on Facebook. But right now, if you're comparing one and the other, Facebook is significantly cheaper to get some leads from than Google is. Now, the pros with both of them, well, obviously, with Facebook is the ability to target. I mean, it's actually mind-boggling when you start to look at the data and you start to look at how you can target people. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, you have like lookalikes. You can, you just can do like people that actually are like. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. We didn't have any of this stuff 15 years ago. To being able to target people at that granular level, like, which means that, I mean, for me, as I look at it, when you're looking at billboards on I-95 or you're looking at TV ads, and you're like, I mean, I know that a TV ad that is, promoting a piece of content on CNN has a vastly different audience that, during Sesame Street. I get that, but nonetheless, they're just showing their ad. There is no targeting. It doesn't matter who's in the room. They actually have no idea. With Facebook, you can strictly put it in front of people that matter to you. You can avoid everybody else. So if you have an age group, if you have a gender, and if you have a type of stuff they like women 35 years old that like yoga, you can actually put your ad in front of them in that geographic location. And there's nothing that was like that before. Now, on the other side, Google, the pros, in my opinion, the big pro is that it is designed to generate some cash flow, and some leads immediately. That is, for me, is the clear advantage. And when I have a client and we interact, that will be one of the questions I ask them, and I says, do we need to make the cash register ring? And if the answer is, well, I don't know, I'm like, listen, you know cash flow. And if the answer is, well, yes, I need that, then the decision is Google. And if you have some time, if you have some money that you've set aside in your budget and you can invest, then we can consider to go, some of it with Facebook. The second pro is obviously with Facebook. I mean, you can advertise for stuff for 25 bucks a week, 100 bucks a month. I mean, and it's just like, I mean, there's absolutely no reason why not all of us are kind of like testing the waters with the Facebook ads, because it's really not that expensive. The cost of entry is really, really cheap. Okay, you don't have to spend an enormous amount of money. And with Google, actually Google is claiming this. So I'm not, and I'm going to put it up for debate because I'd love to hear your feedback. But Google is claiming that for every $2 you spend, actually I'm just realizing I screwed up that slide, right? I screwed it up, right? It's actually for every $1, no, it's actually $2 you spend, $1. Okay, I screwed it up. It should be the opposite.
If you're going to spend $1, you want to sell $2 worth of stock.
Right. So you're spending $1, you're making $2 in sales. Okay, good. So you made 50. You doubled your money. Thank you. So I screwed this up. Can you reverse it in your mind? But you get the intent, right? They claim that. Now, you know, it's funny that I actually screwed that slide up because as I typed it, I was like, I don't know if I believe that. So I'd like to hear your comment. But in any case, you got the gist of it. Now, the cons of Facebook and Google. The first thing you need to understand is with Facebook is that people, I mean, again, you know, I'm rehashing this. There is no intent to buy on Facebook. People want to see pictures of cats. Nobody goes on Facebook to buy stuff. That's the con. That's the thing. Like sometimes, well, why should I advertise there? Well, because this is where everybody is, right? So you want to market your product. You don't want to sell it. You want to market it. This is where everybody is. But they want to go and see, you know, cats and dogs and funny stuff, right? And with Google, the disadvantage is that you're going to get a lot of unqualified leads. So what happens with Google is you get a lot of, or what I call tire kickers. You know, people are looking for a deal. So you have to sort through that. So you're going to get a whole bunch of deals, but you're just going to get a lot of potential unqualified leads, which you have to spend time with. Right? That's kind of like the nature of the business, so you have to become good at qualifying. The other con is that the average click-through rate, the CTR stands for click-through rate, is actually very low. I don't know if you've heard it, but the Google ads, that when you go on Google and you have the results, you have the ads at the top, and they actually represent less than 3% of the clicks. That is the reality of it. The vast majority of people avoid them like the plague. Who avoids the ads? Never click on them. Raise your hand. Show me your hands. I know where you are. Yeah, all over the room. Right? So then actually it looks like 95% of the room. Right? Some people are like, I don't care. I'll just click on it. But it's like, that's what we do. We never click on the ads. Right? But the math actually works. That doesn't mean that it doesn't work, because 3% of 100,000 people looking for something is still a huge number. Right? The math works with Google, but it's a very small percentage. So if you split, we're not talking about organic, but there's the Google ads and underneath are the organic results and the results naturally. This is really where the money is being made, which is a lot harder to actually rank organically for, you know, a difficult keyword. So, you know, how you beat that is you put an ad, but you have to understand that you're getting less than 3%. And for Facebook, it's actually worse. It's actually less than 1%. But again, it still works because the volume is there, right? If you are putting your Facebook ads, you know, in front of 100,000 people, well, you do the math, it's still a whole bunch of people that actually clicked on the ad. Now that's the click-through rate. That's not the view. They've seen it, they just didn't click on it, right? So one of the things that I want to make sure that everybody understands, and I have seen so many people hurting their teeth on Facebook ad. There's a steep learning curve with Google ads and Facebook ads. Like everybody that has dealt with creating Facebook ads, going in there and creating the audience, and that knows that it's not an easy task. It just really, there's nothing. It's not, I wouldn't say it's overly complicated, but it takes something. You know, if you want to go into it, in my opinion, I think this you have two solutions. Either you educate yourself, and there's tons of education for you, but you have to understand that if you really believe that either Google ads or Facebook ads is a great source for you to generate some leads, then you just got to understand that you're going to be spending quite a bit of time learning how to do it. So then you have the opportunity, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to spend the time to learn it, or I'm going to hire someone that knows what they're doing. Okay? So in terms of people that know Google ads, there is a lot of Google ads and SEO has a really bad reputation. There's a lot of people that make false promises, promise you the moon, or just don't do a good job. So again, you know, you got to be careful, but there's tons of highly qualified people in the Google ads, and it can really make a huge difference. With Facebook ads, since it's a lot newer, there's not as many people that are good. But again, you know, you could find someone that is really qualified, that has some experience, that has done it, and they can really help you out with, you know, making it happen for you. Now, let's look at a couple of examples of ads that I saw. Actually, I picked them up today from Facebook. They showed up on my feed. So I'll talk to you about them. I want to turn around so I can look at them. I'm sorry, I'm giving you my back. You know, what I liked about this is that, so this ad actually showed up in my feed because I actually looked at Proposify for making proposals. So all I did is I went to their site. So they're targeting me because I went to their website, which is one of the abilities that you have with Facebook. What I like with it is it's a video. So it's a video of the guy is talking right now without the sound, but it starts with writing proposals sucks. We make it suck less. I love that. A simpler way to deliver winning proposals. So I think it's a very and you can see by the number of comments, shares, and number of views that it's an ad that actually is working very well for them. I think that it's a combination of the copy, the words that it actually use. There's some cleverness around it. Like it also knows that it's talking to digital marketing agency owners. So, you know, they know that they can say, like, you know, writing proposals suck, we make it suck less. That's something that we'd find it's funny. Obviously, if you're targeting another audience, that may not work at all. I think that the fact that it was a video that was actually very well done was they spend the money on creating a nice video, and then the tag, a simpler way to deliver a winning proposal. I mean, it's simple, but the copy has a lot to do with it. You know, sometimes people don't respect the copy. Words sell. Words makes a huge difference. If you can connect with someone, you know, you want to think about it, and that's actually the last month presentation that we did on choosing the right words. But the right words, you want to think in terms of what do they want? What do people want? You know, and inside of that, what is their pain? What is their challenge, issue, and pain? So if I look at this, what they've identified is that writing proposals suck. That's a pain that we have, digital marketing agencies owner. We hate it. We have to do it, and it's long, and it's tedious, it takes time, but we hate it. And then they have a simpler way to deliver. It's simple. You had me at hello. Right? I mean, it's just like, you got me. So that's a great Facebook ad. Okay? Video, nice words, and then a sign up. Now here's another one that I got today. Now I have no idea. So this was interesting because I have no idea what I was targeted for that thing. Other than I buy quite a bit of books on Amazon, and I buy a lot of Audible books on tapes. I don't know if we don't call it books on tapes anymore, but you know what I'm saying, right? So I'm targeted with this, but what I like with a mentor box, the best $7 investment you've ever made in your own learning and development. So obviously it's targeting me, knowing that I'm looking for education. They've actually identified that, and they made an offer right there. You know, the best $7 investment you've ever made. I mean, $7. Seriously, you know what I mean? Like it's just an easy sell, and it's a nice stack of books. I think they could have done a video that may have made it even more effective and whatnot. But that's the. I think this is a well-constructed ad. You know, a bit of copy at the top, not too complicated. I think they have a little bit too many words. You shouldn't have to click see more. You know, if you have to click see more, that means there's too many words. You know, there's some stuff you're saying that doesn't need to be there. And then a nice tagline there that just actually is enticing. Okay. Now let's look at Google. This is for DUI lawyer obviously just in West Palm Beach. So this is what came up. I didn't even put the city. I just put DUI lawyer. Now the reason why I put DUI lawyer is one of the things that we have. Several law firms that are clients of ours. And what's actually really interesting with this is what we found out is business litigation does not work on Google. But DUI lawyer does. Do you know why?
SEO.
No. Because if I'm looking for business litigation, then that means I have a lawsuit that I'm dealing with. And I'm going to go to Charlie. I'm going to say, Charlie, do you know a lawyer that's a shark? I'm going to go to a friend. I'm going to ask for a recommendation. Now, let's flip this. Charlie, I really got stupid over the weekend and I got busted for DUI. Do you know a good lawyer? What are the chances that him and I are going to have that conversation? I mean, I really have to know him pretty well, but I would never admit that to him. Like, you know, it's like you keep it on the wrap. So you wouldn't admit it out loud that you got a DUI. So this is why DUI lawyer is one of the keywords that actually sells a lot, because everybody, when they get busted with a DUI, they're not going to go and scream on rooftop, hey, anybody knows a lawyer? I was really stupid last weekend, and you know. So that's the thing. So you want to think in terms of psychology, you know, what would people be looking for with your products and services? How would they be looking for it? You know, would your product and services be something, like I have a lot of people that are in the coaching business or consultant business. Nobody goes on Google to find a consultant, a high-powered consultant. You know what I mean? This is something that you ask a friend of yours. You know, again, I'll ask Charlie. I says, I'm looking for a guy that can help me with that. Do you know that? I'm not going to go on Google. What am I going to find on Google? You know what I mean? So it's you know, obviously you're going to be looking for a plumber. You're going to look for a DUI lawyer, but you won't be looking for business litigation, or at least less, right? So let's look at these ads here, which is interesting in how people are putting their ads. So I have the top one is the #1 DUI defense lawyer, the criminal defense experts, and up top and there is a phone number. And then the one below that says best DUI lawyer in Stuart, available 24 hours a day or night. See, one of the mistakes that actually I see people do with Google ads is that they don't think of the copy as much as they should. The copy is so important. Like one of the things that we do when we do Google ads for our clients is we spend an enormous time on the copy, making sure that the words there, or actually it's the same thing as a Facebook ads, is designed to actually identify a pain. So if I'm going to look at the second one, best DUI lawyer in Stuart, available 24 hours a day, they've identified that one of the pain points with a DUI is you might need him at an odd hour of the night. Could that be possibly true? So could you see the difference? How much smarter? And then the other one has available 24/7 underneath. But 24 hours day or night is smart. That pops. Now obviously we're not in the context, we're not in the middle of a DUI, right? But imagine yourself, you're in the middle of a DUI, you just got stopped by the cops, you had one too many beer, and boom, there you are. And let me put another one, cosmetic dentistry here. So again, it's, you know, cosmetic dentistry, it's in West Palm Beach. Those are the ads that came up. So let us transform your smile, world-class cosmetic dentistry. You know, I'd like to hear, you know, for some of you, smiles in the garden. You know, that's actually that's the name of the company. Now think about it, smiles in the garden. You see it, the third one from the top. Sorry, it made me laugh because that actually is the name of their company. But it's smiles in the garden. It's a complete waste of space in the ads. Can you guys see that? right? You could say here, you could identify, one of the things, let me just tell you something, because we have clients that are dentists. Do you know that half of Americans don't go to the dentist on a regular basis? Half the people. What do you think is the #1 reason that people don't go to the dentist?
Fear.
Fear. Fear. You can hear you can already hear it, right? And you cringe, or the needle is going to be in your mouth, and it's just not a good, right? It's fear. So if you're a dentist, what should you advertise? Pain-free. We'll make you comfortable. We'll 100% guarantee pain-free. You said that, people would be like, click. Like that. All right, so the verdict. Everybody's ready for my verdict, and then we're going to open up for Q&A, okay? The verdict. Facebook is ideally suited for B2B. Facebook is for B2C. And Google is primarily for B2B. Everybody is clear on B2B, right? B2C, what that means. Business to business, business to consumers, right? That is the key. So again, you're looking at, am I selling to consumers or am I selling to businesses? And then choose the right one. Facebook is about brand awareness. It's not a tool. It's not, at the core of it, the essence of it is not designed to make the cash register go green. It can and it will, but if you approach it from a standpoint of, I am going to generate sales with those ads on Facebook, you're going to be most likely disappointed, depending on what business you are, but it's just not the right approach. If you're looking for sales, go to Google. By the way, you need both. You need brand awareness and you need sales. So you don't have, I'm not saying choose one and not the other. You just got to be super clear on your objective. Facebook is about long term. Everything that's about marketing is long term. You should not approach marketing with a short-term mentality. And what I mean long term is like, unless you have an 18-month plan written out, then this is not a long-term plan. It's 18 months. It says we're going to do that. That is the plan. That's how we're going to do it. There's no 3-month plan in Facebook or in marketing in general. If you're approaching marketing with a thing, oh, well, let's see what it does in 3 months. It's just, every marketer will tell you, it's like you're out of your mind. It just takes a long time for brand awareness. I mean, you may have something that goes viral, but the chances are, and you may also win the lottery, but the chances are it's not going to happen, right? So it's long term. And Google is short term. Because the moment you stop, paying for the ads on Google, well, that's it. It stops. So it's a short term fix to a problem you may have. Now, this basically is the difference between Google and Facebook. And in my opinion, in my humble opinion, before I turn it to everybody in the room, you should be doing both as a business. You should be doing both, but you need to understand the difference between one and the other. And now that you've seen this presentation, you know how to approach it. And just spend your time and your money wisely.